Now that I'm absolutely certain of the position of each of these 44 dots, I mark it out with my bradawl. I love this tool. Her name is Jessica. Do you get the impression that this is a birthday present? To himself. One thing you can never be without, really, in guitar building is a myriad of different vices. Bench vices and engineers vices and wood carvers vices. You know, it's something. I've got a myriad. I've got lots of them. This little beastie is adjustable, all sorts, and I've put leather in there, which means that I can use it for well, anything that I don't want to damage. And today, what I don't want to damage is the brass tube that we're going to be cutting down to make our inlays. That just needs to be made even tighter. There we go. Now, I can cut these down by hand with a hacksaw, although that would probably... I don't like cutting tubes with hacksaws. Despite the fact that I absolutely love my little hacksaw. This is the most beautiful vintage hacksaw in the world. I suspect it was originally designed as a surgeon's saw, but well, I hope. Anyhow, so if I cut these by hand, as you get through to the hole in the centre of the tube, it bites and catches, and you've got to put more tension on it, and it's not a particularly pleasant job. However, because the walls of my brass tube are a little bit thicker than some tubes I've worked, it does work all right, and it's entirely possible. Now, I've tested that. I am actually going to end up using a Dremel with a diamond cutter on it. But what I need to do is I need to make sure the end is ready each time. So I'm going to sand it off, or better yet, file it off. And I'm also going to file a little bevel on the edge. On the end. And that is just going to help me seat it in the hole properly as we go. So, on to cutting. Dremel. First things first, I've got this plastic cup which should catch most of what I drop down there. Hopefully. I don't want to waste any of these. Next up, it's my lovely Dremel. I've just realised I've had this tool since 2002, and this was the first router of any kind that I bought. I bought this thinking that this would do the job of routing out pickup cavities. Shows how naive I was. Not that long ago. That was only 11 years ago. At that point I'd been building violins and viola da gambas and stuff, and yes, power tools were not, well, let's just say they were frowned upon. Now you'll notice that I've got a quick change collet on here. It makes life much easier, and I do just for security's sake, tighten it up with a pair of pliers. Now, I think I'm going to cut 3 or 4 millimeter lengths. I just needed to consider that. And that's it. Now, before you do anything else, must wear protection. Absolutely. And goggles. And now I need to get off the floor. Help. Alright, let us begin cutting. Well, guess what? That diamond wheel is... well, it no longer seems to have very many diamonds on it. So, let's find something else. So I've put a more regular cutting disc on the Dremel, just to make life... well, my diamond cutters were all blunt on the edge there. That's the one problem I have with diamond tools. The coating wears off, and it tends to wear off much more rapidly than on files or cutting tools like that, which is a bit sad. Anyway, ear defenders on. Yes, that's cutting quite a nice edge actually. Much nicer. That is, yeah, that's a nice surface to inlay. So, just minimal filing just to make life easier when I go to inlay. And that will be perfect. Extend it out a little bit. This is a relatively time-consuming process, but well, worth it in the end. We can have some rather nice inlays. So we've obviously marked out all of our holes. I don't want to drill or put an inlay there because that's my strap button. And I'm using a little center point or brad point, I think it's called, drill bit. And this is 3mm, which matches the inlay. Now the good thing about the center point or brad point drill is it is less likely to chip away around the hole, and of course it is a question of precision.